Level 1. The Kid Who Can Fly. You first realize flying might be useful in a place that barely qualifies as an airport. A cracked runway, 2 rusted hangars, 1 fuel pump that works about half the time. You're 19 and flying crop dusters for farmers who pay in cash and occasionally chickens. Your aircraft is a battered Cessna 206. It rattles when you climb above 3,000 feet, but it flies, and you're good at it. You fly low over fields, skimming the tops of corn rows. Your instructor once told you, anyone can fly high. Real pilots fly low. At the time, you thought it sounded cool. Now you realize he meant something else. One afternoon, a man in dark sunglasses waits beside the hangar. He doesn't introduce himself. He just watches you land. After a moment, he asks, "Can you fly at night?" You shrug. "Probably." He nods. Then he asks the second question. "Can you fly low enough to stay off radar?" That's when you realize this job interview is different. Level 2. The test flight. They don't trust you yet, so they give you a small job, a short flight. You meet at a dirt airstrip 30 miles from the nearest town. There are no buildings, just a strip of flattened earth, and 3 trucks. Men unload large duffel bags into the back of your aircraft. No one explains what's inside, but nobody pretends it's sports equipment. Your instructions are simple. Fly north, stay below 500 feet, land at another dirt strip across the border. No radio, no flight plan, no mistakes. Before takeoff, one of the men leans into the cockpit. "You see police or military aircraft," he says calmly. "You land somewhere else." He doesn't say what happens after that. He doesn't need to. You take off at dusk. The sky fades from orange to purple. Flying low at night is strange. The ground moves faster than it should. Trees appear suddenly out of the darkness. Your altimeter says 400 feet. Your instincts say that's still too high. Halfway through the flight, you see something on the horizon. A flashing light, an aircraft. Your stomach tightens. You cut your lights, reduce power, descend lower. 200 feet now. The aircraft passes far overhead. Probably nothing. Probably. You land safely. When you shut down the engine, the men on the ground simply unload the bags. No celebration, no congratulations. One of them hands you an envelope. Inside is more cash than you've ever seen. You realize 2 things immediately. First, this work pays very well. Second, this was only the beginning. Level 3. The Smuggler. Within months, flying these routes becomes routine, which is exactly what makes them dangerous. Complacency creeps in. Your aircraft improves. Now you fly Beechcraft King Airs and twin-engine turboprops. Faster, longer range, better payload. You learn the geography of smuggling routes. Mountain valleys that hide radar signatures. Desert corridors where nobody lives. Remote highways that double as runways. You fly at strange hours, midnight departures, pre-dawn landings. Your navigation tools are simple. GPS, paper maps, and experience. One night, you land on a dirt road in the mountains. A convoy of trucks appears within minutes. Men unload the cargo quickly. One of them jokes, "You're like Uber for very illegal packages." You laugh, because humor makes the situation feel normal. But you also notice something else. Every operation runs like a military exercise. Lookouts posted on hills, radio codes, backup vehicles. The cartel isn't chaotic, it's organized. You're just one part of the system, but a very valuable part. Because drugs move fast on highways, they move faster in airplanes. Level 4. The Radar Runner. Eventually, the flights get more complicated. Crossing international borders means radar, and radar means problems. Your new aircraft is a modified Cessna Caravan. Long range, huge cargo capacity, stripped interior. The mission brief is short. Fly along the coastline, stay under 300 feet. Radar struggles to detect aircraft that low over water. But flying that low introduces another challenge. Waves. At night. In darkness. You stare at the instruments constantly,
because the horizon disappears. Your altimeter reads 250 feet, which means the margin for error is basically zero. Halfway through the flight, your radar detector lights up. A military aircraft is sweeping the coastline. Your co-pilot looks at you. You both know the drill. You descend. 150 feet. Now the ocean feels dangerously close. Your aircraft skims through darkness like a ghost. After 20 minutes, the warning disappears. You climb slowly. Neither of you says anything. Eventually, your co-pilot mutters, "Next time, we should charge extra for that." You agree, but secretly, you know something else. Every successful flight raises expectations, and expectations in this business only move one direction, up.
Level 5, the fleet pilot. You're no longer just flying, you're coordinating. The cartel trusts you now, which means more responsibility and more aircraft. You oversee a small fleet, 3 turboprops, 2 aging business jets, a helicopter used for short transfers. Your job is logistics, scheduling flights, maintaining aircraft, planning routes, avoiding detection. It's closer to running a small airline than you expected, except most airlines don't operate from jungle airstrips. One afternoon, a mechanic shows you something interesting. The cargo compartment of a jet, modified, hidden compartments. Smugglers call them blind loads. Law enforcement can search the aircraft and still miss the hidden sections. You run your hand across the metal panels. It's clever engineering. You're impressed. Then you realize something uncomfortable. You've stopped thinking about whether this is right. You only think about whether it works. That realization stays with you longer than you expected. Level 6, the high-value pilot. Your reputation spreads. You're now trusted with the most sensitive flights, long-distance routes, international runs, aircraft worth millions. Your newest plane is a Gulfstream business jet, luxury on the outside, illegal cargo on the inside. Flying a jet like this changes the game. You can cross continents in hours, land at legitimate airports, blend in with wealthy business travelers. The first time you taxi onto a real international runway, you almost laugh. Commercial airliners sit beside you. Passengers sip coffee inside terminals, and nobody knows what's inside your cargo hold. Your cover story is simple. Private charter pilot, which technically isn't even a lie. During one flight, your co-pilot asks a strange question. Do you ever think about quitting? You think about it for maybe 5 seconds. Then you shrug. After one more run, he laughs. Because every pilot says the same thing. One more run. Always one more. Level 7, the ghost pilot. The flights now happen in places where even airports don't exist. Remote jungle strips, hidden desert runways, temporary landing zones marked by truck headlights. You land on a highway in Central America once. Traffic has been stopped on both sides. The entire operation lasts 4 minutes. Unload cargo, load fuel, take off. As you climb away, you glance down. Cars begin moving again like nothing happened. Your co-pilot shakes his head. Most illegal pit stop in history. But these operations carry higher risks. Rival cartels, government raids, internal betrayal. One night you land on a remote strip expecting the usual convoy. Instead, you find unfamiliar vehicles waiting. Your instincts kick in instantly. You throttle forward, take off again before anyone approaches the aircraft. Later, you learn the truth. The landing zone had been compromised. Federal agents were minutes away. Your caution saved the aircraft, and probably your life. After that night, the cartel gives you a nickname, El Fantasma, the ghost, because you appear, deliver, disappear. Level 8, the aviation boss. Eventually, you stop flying full-time. Your experience becomes too valuable. Now you manage the cartel's aviation network. Dozens of aircraft, pilots across multiple countries, maintenance crews, fuel suppliers, corrupt airport officials. The scale surprises even you. Aircraft move cargo across entire continents, South America to Central America,
Central America to Mexico, Mexico to the United States. You analyze flight paths like a chess player, radar coverage, weather patterns, border patrol schedules. The entire system depends on precision. One mistake could collapse everything. You rarely sleep well anymore. Phones ring at strange hours. Pilots report engine trouble. Authorities seize aircraft. Routes suddenly become dangerous. The empire is enormous, but fragile, and you're responsible for keeping it in the air. Level 9. The target. Eventually, governments notice patterns. Aircraft seizures increase. Radar monitoring improves. International task forces form. Your aviation network becomes a priority target. Pilots disappear. Airstrips get raided. Aircraft vanish overnight. You move constantly now. Different cities, different safe houses, different phones. Flying used to feel like freedom. Now it feels like exposure. Because aircraft leave trails, radar signatures, satellite images, fuel purchases. The sky is no longer empty, it's watched. And the higher you rose in this world, the easier it became to see you. Level 10. The final flight. Your last flight happens quietly. No announcement, no ceremony. Just another aircraft, another runway, another night. You take off before sunrise. The sky slowly turns orange behind the clouds. For the first time in years, you notice something strange.
Flying feels peaceful again. Not dangerous, not stressful, just quiet. For a moment, you remember why you loved aviation in the first place. Not money, not power, just the simple act of flying. Then the radio crackles. Your co-pilot glances at the radar screen. Something appears behind you. Fast, very fast. You sigh, because deep down you always knew how this story might end. You started as a kid who loved flying, but somewhere along the way, the sky stopped being freedom and became a smuggling route. And once that happens, every flight might be your last.